Welcome back for another episode of After the Buzzer podcast. I'm your host, Mark Quill, and you come here to get your best sports analysis on the NFL, the NBA, and sometimes the MLB. But these next few episodes going to be all NBA because we're in a mix in the NBA playoffs, and things are starting to close out and get real interesting. So we're gonna start this episode talking about the Celtics versus the Bucks and the Phoenix Suns versus the Mavericks, which was that was something, I guess. And then I ended off getting my little slight predictions the next games, but I'm gonna go more in depth for them series the next episode. So let's start off with the Celtics versus the Bucks. Now, the Celtics, the Bucks had a game plan basically. This is always Coach Bud game plan. Protect the paint, let them shoot threes. They not gonna make every single three. We'd rather give an open threes than have them get open twos because of the percentage. And while it started off pretty good when they were just leaving Grant Williams open. I think he started with 1 for 4. He was missing shots. But then they kept doing it, and he kept hitting them. Then he hit another one, and then he hit another one, and then he hit another one. It's like during that second half, he should have made an adjustment. It was like, okay, we're not gonna leave this guy open. Grant Williams was Kobe Bryant. He was Steph Curry. He made every single three down the stretch and went and every time Bucks made one, Grant Williams 3. And you would think Coach Bud would go back and say, let's make adjustments. Let's change this up because we're getting our ass kicked by a role player. By a player that don't even average. I don't even think Grant Williams average above 10, if I'm not mistaken. But even if he does, he's not a person that go out there and score 20 points a game. But the stupidity to leave open the Celtics' best three-point shooter, the only person on their team that shot above 40% from three this season, to give him constant open looks, right, the possession on possession, was the most stupid thing ever. And not only was it stupid, you didn't make no adjustments. You let it keep happening for the rest of the game. And then, man, they lucky because Tatum was at a point where he was starting going up. This was looking like Tatum go drop 40 again. But he didn't need to because he had Grant Williams making every open shot. So you didn't really need to. And Jaylen Brown did his part. Al Horford and Marcus Smart did their part. Grant Williams stole the show. Grant Williams the best player on the court because of the game plan. And it was kind of... It was hair scratching to see that there was no adjustments mid-game to start Grant Williams. And I think he was just hoping that, okay, Grant Williams would have a cold spot and just miss a couple threes in a row and let us get back in the game. But it never happened. It never happened. So I'm just confused on why the adjustments never came. And for Giannis, in my opinion, Giannis is still the best player in the game no matter what. If they had Middleton, they probably would have took this series. We don't know, but that's an if, and Middleton wasn't there. So I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to give the Celtics their credit. And it was just shocking to see Giannis. I'm not saying have a bad game because he was 25, 20, and 9. He almost had a triple-double. So it wasn't a bad game, but per se, his efficiency, he shot pretty bad. And not only that, he was missing easy bunnies at the lay. He was missing easy lays. He couldn't get the ball to go in the rim. He was 1 for 4 for 3, which is unusual. He don't really shoot that many threes unless he's finning it. But they didn't really get enough from Drew Holiday. They didn't get enough for Grayson. They didn't get enough for Wes Matthews. Brook Lopez was really eating at the beginning of the game, but he got gassed out real fast. So they didn't really get enough of him. Everybody on their bench didn't really get enough from their bench either. So it was just a recipe for disaster for the Bucks. And this is why I don't like game sevens for my team per se. And I'm a Celtics fan because you never know what happened in these game sevens. Your team could be cold and the other team could be hot. Your team could be hot and the other team could be cold. You never know. You never know. So this is why when you want to answer, you want to end it. The Bucks had a chance to end it in 6 at their home court. They didn't. Celtics came back and won 2 back-to-back, and Grant Williams had the game of his life. And I saw the Celtics winning, especially when they came back home. The Celtics were ahead in 7. It's nobody losing their home court. I don't think they're going to. And it was just, like I said, it was just surprising to see that Coach Bud didn't make no in-game adjustments at all. Like, not one. He continued to play the same defense to leave Grant Williams open. He continued to pack the paint and let the Celtics just shoot, which was pretty bad because the Celtics had, and the Bucks shot bad all night. I think that they only made 4 threes to the Celtics 22. That's a crazy discrepancy. That's a crazy difference. And was more likely won the Celtics game. And I don't want to talk refs because I hate talking refs, but the refs was so bad for both sides. The refs was so bad, like it felt like the game was stopping every single minute. It felt like the game had no flow, no team getting the flow because the game was stopped. The game foul after foul. It was just, and the refs, they so inconsistent. We see Giannis come down, knock over Grant Williams, no call, and we see Tatum do the same thing, and it is a call. And I'm not saying either one is right or wrong, but they need to be more consistent with their calls. But this series surprised me. I had the Bucks in 7, and this comes from the Celtics fan. I thought Giannis was just going to really show the NBA that he is the greatest player. I think he really is the greatest player. He still is the best player in the league. But I really thought he was going to really show that he's the best player in the league to everybody. Show everyone had their stupid opinions about him. But we want to see a lot of people talking. Is Giannis the best player in the league? Is y'all sure Giannis top 3? Y'all sure? The recency bias gonna be crazy. The recency bias gonna be crazy on Giannis, and we already know. But people didn't realize that Chris Middleton didn't play. His best player didn't play. And to push this to 7 games is also an amazing achievement. Anyway, the Bucks gonna be fine. They don't really need to make too many moves. Probably add some many more, probably more perimeter shooters because Wes Matthews failed them, Grayson Allen failed them, and they'd probably add 1 or 2 more better perimeter shooters, and they'd be fine. They'd be right back here in championship contendership. And for the Celtics side, it's great to see them move on. This could possibly be their year to win it all. No, ain't no juggernauts no more. They beat 2 of the scariest team in the playoffs. They beat both the Nets and the Bucks. So, is this the Celtics year? That's when people need to start asking, is this the Celtics year? Because they beat 2 scary teams and took them out back-to-back. They swept one and beat the other one in 7. So, it's 2 different series. They proved they could whoop on somebody, and they proved they could be tough and stick it out through a series. So, the Celtics, I believe they have a really good chance of winning it all. Now, let's get into this other series. Man, did the Suns just embarrass themselves? That was an embarrassment. When I mean the game was over at halftime, they was down by 30 at the half for a game 7. And this wasn't no scrub team. This is a team that had the best record in the league. The only team that won 60 plus games. They had the best record by far. They were so ahead of everybody. And you telling me they lose by... They lost by 30 something, but they lost by 40. If the bench players didn't come in for the Suns and made it a little bit closer, they would have lost by 40, maybe 50 points in a game 7. In a game 7, you come out here and lose by 30, 40 points. That is insane. I never saw in my life fans leaving a playoff game the middle of the third quarter. The middle of the third quarter and stuff. I know a lot of people mad that have front row seats and you came to the game, you paid $7,000, $6,000, maybe even more to see your team lose by 30 points. To see they was getting blown out by 40. It was literally no point in this game they had a chance besides when the score was 0-0. That's the only point again they had a chance. After the first quarter, they basically had no chance. They were talking about 20. After the third, they was talking about 30. After the second, they was talking about 30. After the third, they was talking about 40. So it was a straight embarrassment. Devin Booker, embarrassing. Chris Paul, embarrassing. Everyone at DeAndre Ayton, embarrassing. Cam Johnson to everybody else, embarrassing. Mikal Bridges, embarrassing. Luka was smiling his ass off. At this point, he's basically playing pickup basketball. He was making everything. It was literally a point in the game where I was watching for 5 straight minutes, and I swear that I did not see the Mavericks miss. I was like, when is they gonna miss a shot? And this is why why it's so dangerous to have game sevens and stuff like that, because the Suns was cold as ever and the Mavericks was hot as ever, and we saw them get blown the hell out. They got blown the hell out. At the end of the game, all we saw was Mavericks fans. It was basically a Mavs game by the end of the third quarter. It wasn't no Suns game. They didn't have home court advantage. It was the Mavericks game. That is embarrassing. And now, like, people talking crazy about Chris Paul and stuff like that. I still think he's one of the greatest players, but like, that was his last chance. He ended his career as CP 0. He ain't had no ring. This year was his last. He gonna be 38. He gonna be even older. He gonna be even slower, even worse defensively. So that was Chris Paul last year, and they blew it. You tell me for a 4-game stretch that Chris Paul's gonna average 8 to 9 points. 8 to 9 points with like 3 turnovers. That is they out the game, like I think game 3, game 4, game 5, and game 6, Chris Paul had failed to put up more than 12 points. That is fucking ridiculous for somebody the stature of Chris Paul. And the Suns had many chances in the series. Game 4, in game 5, game 6. They had many chances to end this series and put them away, but they let the Mavericks stick around. And look what happened. Fucking Dinwiddie bent them over. Luka bent them over. Jalen Brunson bent them over. They couldn't miss. The whole team was bending them over. They could not miss not a shot. They wasn't missing nothing. And now the Suns end their beautiful season on a crazy loss and all them embarrassed. And now they paid Chris Paul with $38 million. Whew! $38 million. Oh my gosh, now that's looking so bad. I mean, back there I said they shouldn't have paid him that much, but they came off that high of making it to the finals. They came up that high, make it to the finals. So they would say, yeah, let's pay a 36-year-old fucking $38 million a year. Oh my god, that was such a bad. Now they gonna see if they gonna pay Ayton. Now they gotta pay Ayton. He won a max contract. We don't know if Ayton gonna be on this team next year. So this team's gonna get worse and worse. And these last 2 years were their only 2 chances to win it. And Chris Paul, sad to say, he's not winning a ring. He's not ending his career with a ring unless he go ring chase at the age of 40 years old. Because this was the craziest game 7 I ever saw in my life. It was just not competitive at all. Not one point that I thought the Suns was going to win this game when the game was 0-0. 4 minutes in the game, you like, oh shit, the Mavericks are fucking them up. 4 minutes into the game. 4. Not even a quarter, not even a half a quarter. 4 minutes into the game, the Mavericks was already cooking them. And that's pretty sad to say for the Suns, who was clearly the best team in the league, had the best record by far, had the best point differential by far. Chris Paul missed them games, they were still winning. Devin Booker missed them games, they were still winning. DeAndre Ayton missed them games, and they were still winning. And to get blown out like this. And shout out to Luka, man. I've been telling y'all Luka top 5. I don't know where to fit him at, but I've been saying he's top 5. And people say, well, he can't win the playoffs. He went against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard back-to-back years. He went against the Clippers back-to-back years. With a worse team than he have now. With a worse supporting cast than he have now. And people want to shit on him for not having no playoff wins. And like, oh, Trae Young have more playoff wins. Nobody don't give a fuck. Luka is 10 times better than Trae Young. And that's crazy to say because Trae Young is born on a top 10 player. And that's how different Luka Doncic is. He top 5 to me now. He just proved he's top 5. He been top 5. And if you want to hear my top 5 real quick, I got Giannis, I got LeBron, I got KD, I got Luka, and I got Jokic. Them my top 5. And you want to hear the rest of them. And B probably at 6. AD probably at 7. And then at 8, 9, 10, I don't know. 8 probably Curry. Damn, the thing Curry's that far off. You know what? Fuck it. Put Curry in front of Embiid and Jokic. Put Curry at 5. Jokic at 6. Embiid at 7, Kawhi at 8, Tatum at 9, and I don't know who put that 10. You got Trey, you got Dame, you got PG, we got Jimmy Butler. Anybody can be able to 10, but them 9 need to be in the top 10 for sure, in my opinion. I think Taylor solidified himself as top 10. I think Luka solidified himself as top 5. I think Curry still proving he's one of the best. I think LeBron is still clearly one of the best players in the league. He's even he top 3. You don't have 1, 2, 3. You know, fuck you talking about. AD still top 10. He just too injured, but. Those quick rundown of my top 10. But man, the Suns, they that was secondhand embarrassment. That was so embarrassing to watch, to see them get smoked like that. But now we got the Suns versus the Warriors. I mean, not Suns, the Mavericks versus the Warriors, and we got the Heat versus the Celtics. Right now, I think I got the Warriors in 6 and Celtics in 6. I think Celtics match up well with the Heat. They don't got no unguardable person to score. Shows no focus. They can actually play team defense like they've been doing the regular season. And plus, the Celtics, they won the season series against the Heat, and the point difference wasn't close. The playoffs is a much different monster. But like Tatum gonna have to do his job on Jimmy Butler. Smart gonna have to do his job on Tyler Hero, and Horford and Rob Williams gotta do their job on Bam. And I believe this is going to be a nasty, gritty series. We're going to see some games under 100 because these teams are both nasty defensively. They're both physical. They both like to get after each other. But I think the Celtics got the better player on the court. JT is the best player on the court. Jimmy Butler second best. Jaylen Brown third. And then Tyler Hero fourth. And then the rest is, not Tyler fourth, Bam fourth. Smart and Tyler Hero, you can say whoever's better. We really rely on offense and defense more. But I think the Celtics got the better world-round team, but the Heat scary when they got the better three-point shooting. Also, the Bucks also got the better three-point shooting, but we probably get over that. But I think I had the Celtics in 6 and Warriors in 6 will make us see the Warriors and Celtics in the final. Will be a nasty finals. And they go over to the Warriors in 6 thing. I don't know. I think this is the Warriors years that go back and prove themselves. I don't know. I don't know why I got the Warriors in 6. I honestly don't know. Luka could actually beat this team, and because they not, I don't know. But I'm gonna go Warriors in 6. I'm not gonna get too much detail. I'm gonna make another episode. Episode 9, I'll probably go more into detail on why I chose these teams and stuff like that. But we're at the end of the episode now. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and comment below what you think about these playoffs so far. They've been really good, but I want to hear your opinion of what you think so far. And I'm out.